Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk. Heute wieder ein neues Interview, eine neue Firma, jedoch mit einem bekannten Namen. Und zwar Brandon Bonifacio ist Präsident, CEO und Director von NevGold Corp und mit der WKN A3CTE1, aber ich schreibe sie näher auf. Wie gesagt, ich kenne die Firma selber zu wenig, aber er wird uns hoffentlich jetzt erhellen. Und was natürlich fix ist, es geht um Gold. Brandon, thank you for your time. Good morning. You're based in Vancouver?
I am, Joe. Nice
Perfect.
to be on.
I said in my German introduction, I have not too much clue about your company, but I guess it's about gold. Then your name sounds like that. So, but as I say, I have no really clue about your company. Please give us a rough overview what you're doing, in which area you're looking for, and what are the latest highlights.
Definitely. So the main focus of NevGold is oxide heap leachable gold in the Western US. We have two flagship projects, one of them in Nevada called Limousine Butte and one in Idaho called Nutmeg Mountain. So Nutmeg Mountain already has a 2020 resource of 1.1 million ounces sitting at surface. We think we're going to be able to expand that significantly. We acquired that project in 2022. We've started drilling that project this past January, and our first assays are just around the corner. So we're expecting our first assays in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And then in terms of our Nevada project, that was acquired from McEwen Mining. It had a historical resource on it, and we think we're well on our way to delivering what is, again, a 1 to 1.5 million ounce oxide heap leachable gold resource. So all in all, we're really delivering on drilling this year and updating the resource estimates at both projects. And we think combined, we'll be able to deliver on over 3 million ounces of oxide heap leachable gold. Also very nice for your listeners is we conducted a 4 million plus Canadian financing this past December. So we're well funded for all of our 2023 work programs, including over 10,000 meters of drilling and those resource estimations by the end of the year.
So when you're looking for heap leachers, it looks like that you're looking for oxide material. So it's
all oxide,
all
yes, and all
surface.
heap leach. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. You say you do a financing in the fall last year. With which price you're doing this?
That was done at 42 cents Canadian with a
Okay.
half warrant at 60 cents. And we're trading almost exactly at that level today.
Yeah, I see. I showed my people now a chart. You're coming down. Last year, the interesting is that a lot of companies. So maybe you can give us a little bit more insight in the market itself. We have a really beautiful run up to March last year, and then we're coming down, correction, and all the gold stock going down, 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 down. But when we see now in November, it's turning around, it's going the other side. Not too much companies running up. So what is really in the market at the moment? Something is different.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a bit of a disconnect. I think when you look at the underlying commodity price, gold today at 1980, 1985, close to that $2,000 level, I think we're only around 5% off all-time highs. Just let that sink in for a little bit. Only 5% off all-time highs, and the equities or the gold companies haven't really traded in alignment with the commodity. I think that creates a very interesting opportunity. I think there's a very large catch-up trade. I think we saw over the last 12 to 18 months an interest rate hike regime, and that has pulled liquidity out of our global financial system. But I think as we saw in the last Fed meeting around a week ago, they only raised 25 basis points. I think they're signaling that this type of rate hike activity cannot continue forever. And I think that creates more ability for investors, whether it's retail or institutions, to start looking at equities again and start being a bit more aggressive and less conservative. So I think the catch-up trade is coming, as you've said. You saw gold price and it's ran up, and I don't think the equities have traded in line, but I do think that creates a compelling opportunity now for that catch-up trade.
And especially when we're looking that we have really a good chance that we going further by the gold price to see a new all-time high, especially with this all high inflation rate what we see, and the central bank cannot go increase higher than to run in troubles with the banks. So in general, it's a perfect environment for a higher gold price. And then it's sometimes really frustrating when I look at the gold mining stock and precious metal stocks, I must say, and this is really frustrating. So, but coming back, so you're looking for HEAP eligible operations in Western US or Western America, and so what are your plans for 23? So you have the money, so what are you doing?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing over 10,000 meters of drilling split between our two projects. And then the goal is on the back of that drilling to update the resources at both projects by the end of the year.
But
so I think it's going to be
but you have only one resource so far by one project, but the other one is the first one, or?
No, one of them has a historical resource. So
okay.
we drilled it already last year, 10,000 meters. So we're well on our way to updating that resource. We do have some more infill and resource delineation drilling to do this year to get it effectively resource ready. And then, so that's the project in Nevada. And then our project in Idaho, we have a 2020 resource on it, but really our focus there is growing that resource and increasing the size of it. So I think it is a very high value add work program that we have planned this year. I think when you look at catalysts in terms of drilling 10,000 meters, the news flow that comes with that, and then also the updating of the resources, I think that is a very important period for a development or exploration company. And I think if we can deliver on, we think what will be a close to 3 million ounce or north of 3 million ounce combined resource, I do think there's a lot of value that's not built into our current valuation that we will be able to extract. So I think that's why it's such a compelling opportunity. Is our peers tend to trade at around $60 to $70 per ounce of resource. And today we're trading, even with what we have just in Idaho, at less than $12 per ounce. So if we can deliver on those resources by the end of the year, I think there's a very large value re-rate to extract.
You say when you drilled this year, this 10,000 meters, and with the old previous drilling, you think that you're coming up north to 3 million ounces? Wow.
Yes. It's nice because the focus of the company was really looking at projects that had historical drilling or had historical or current resources. Exploration comes with a long exercise of drilling and dilution. The focus of us is we are owners of the business. We're entrepreneurs as well, but we wanted to look at projects that had tens of millions of dollars spent on them, take a refreshed approach from the geological modeling standpoint, apply some new techniques, and really expand those resources, but not start from scratch. And that's exactly what we've done. So the nice part about both of our projects in Nevada, for example, before we even drilled it last year, it already had 100,000 meters of drilling. And the project in Idaho that we acquired last year, it already had 70,000 meters of drilling. So these are very large geological databases that really have allowed us to ramp up, not spend massive amounts of money on exploration, but we've been able to deliver on key exploration and resource expansion catalysts, and then also driving to that potential resource update by the end of the year in a very, very short period of time.
Wow. So you can also reconfirm with the drilling, the old drillings, that they are in good standards and conform the 43-101 compliance regulation.
Yeah, I'd say the most of our drilling though was really step out and expansionary drilling. We knew the data was in pretty good standing, so there was very minimal pairing of holes that were required, or next to none. So really the focus of us was, or our group, was growing the resource, stepping out along strike, drilling deeper to try and expand it at depth. So that's really been the focus of ours the last 12 to 18 months.
3 million ounce is a number. So is this enough to coming up then with some decisions, maybe to looking for a partner to make a PEA or to bring it in production down the road, or what is the idea behind?
Yeah, I think there's always critical inflection points. My background, I worked for Gold Corp, which was a top five gold producer in their corporate development group from 2015 to 2020 prior to forming NevGold. So I and our group know what the mid and large cap companies are looking for. Our focus is really de-risking the assets and advancing them along the development curve. And I think there's two key inflection points. It's usually at the resource estimate. You tend to have a lot of people looking at your story because you now have something tangible that they can review. And then later than that, it's in that preliminary economic assessment or pre-feasibility stage. We would like to take it through the resource update and then into the preliminary economic assessment or pre-feasibility stage. For minimal dollars spent, you can extract a lot of value over that part of the development curve with a mining project. And our focus is really for the next 12 months, drill and update the resource. And then into 2024, we want to actually get into the engineering level study. So to your question, we always have discussions with mid and large cap companies. It's part of what we do, but I and our group definitely believe that we should advance it the next 12 to 24 months before formalizing any of those serious discussions.
You grow in the past with acquisition of some projects, and with them you get also big shareholders like McEwen and so on. Do you plan, or do you looking for a new project, or you say no, we have enough, we are focused on this too?
For 2023, we're focused on these two. We have a really nice problem that we have two flagship projects that we're spending and working on both of them, and we have some key catalysts. And if we have success on those two, I think for a sub 100 million market cap company, it's a lot to manage in terms of the internal operating infrastructure that we have, and quite frankly, the resources. I think a lot of the companies that have too many projects, you can stretch yourself too thin. So from our standpoint, this year, it's a laser focus on drilling our two projects and updating the resources. But of course, we're always commercial, looking for opportunities. There's nothing planned now, but if there is a good opportunity, we will always consider it.
No, I like the idea. The problem is really that too many, a lot of companies, too many projects, and then diversify the exploration budgets on 7, 8 projects, and then you have nothing. You create nothing with little
Definitely.
expensive on this one. Okay, coming to the shareholder structure, you say you are really, or you have a really a good position in the stock. So how's it looks like?
Yeah, I think when you look at our capital structure, us as the insider and founder group of the company, we still own over 32%. We have participated in every financing to date. I think in total, we took down around 150,000 in the last December financing at 42 cents. And you can continuously see us buying in the open market. So that's the core insider group. And then as part of those asset acquisitions, we started with the two projects in Nevada, Limousine Butte and Cedar Wash, which we acquired from McEwen Mining. So McEwen Mining is still a 7% shareholder of ours. So it's great to have a group like them on the registry, and they have been extremely supportive. And then, as you mentioned, we acquired Nutmeg Mountain in Idaho last June from a group called Gold Mining Inc. They're now a 18 to 19% shareholder of ours, and they've also been extremely supportive. In our last financing in December of 2022, they actually invested a lead order of 1.25 million hard dollars Canadian. So having a group like that on the registry, having a group like McEwen on the registry, along with our key insider and founder position is very strong to have. And I think you see how we trade. We have a very tight capital structure. We are still, I would say, quite a retail or high net worth focused story. But I do think we're in the process of translating some key institutional funds onto the shareholder registry. So I am quite encouraged about what that could lead to over the coming months as we start to get results out.
When I say it's close to a perfect shareholder structure, so 42% around on retail, it's always good. Then you need trading on the market too. And then you have two big shareholders. They are really good shareholders, McEwen, and Gold Mining is also very well known here in the German-speaking area. So they are really, really great. And 32% is a number. 32% is really a great number. It's not too often that you see exploration companies or development companies have this kind, or the insiders have this kind of position. So it's really great. appreciate this. That shows me that you are really, to have your own interest.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I think it's important to be aligned with our shareholders. All decisions that we make are in the best interest of our shareholder registry, small, medium, large size. We are shareholders ourselves. So I do think for the sub 100 million market cap companies, it's a very important data point to look at. I think it really shows that shareholder alignment. And we didn't touch on it, but we do have an asset in British Columbia that we put out some news on this morning. We systematically advanced it last year, but getting back to your point, doing everything in the best interest of shareholders, we have plans to potentially look at strategic alternatives for that project. And that gets back to your past question on, do you have enough projects in the portfolio? And the answer is yes. We're actually looking at potentially monetizing that through a sale, a spin out. And at the end of the day, we will make that decision in the best interest of our shareholders that we think will extract value for our shareholders.
Great. So this year we can expect, so to summarize in English a little bit, is a lot of news. Drilling, starting with the drill results, then the resource calculation is coming up, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that you're coming up with 3 million plus on resource. And 3 million plus is a great number. I think this catch then the interest also from the mid and big size companies.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think it's a timely time to have this interview, Joe, because we should have our first assays over the next 1 to 2 weeks. We're getting them back from the lab from our drilling that we started at Nutmeg Mountain in Idaho. And then we're going to actually put a rig on our project in Nevada in sort of the May timeframe. So for the next 3 to 6 months, it's going to be very, very busy with drilling and drill results. And as we know in this business, the real value is generated with the drill bit. It's exciting. You get drill results to the market. The street and investors like to see it. So we're very happy. When we timed our financing last December, that's really allowed us to ramp up into 2023 and have a lot of catalysts for the next 3, 6, 9 months.
Well, really great. Interesting. Brent, thank you for the first introduction to your company. I hope we can do it in a few months or after really good, hopefully good drill results and so on, that we can talk a little bit deeper and can look at what the results also mean for the goal of 3 million ounces. I think this is, it's very interesting, and good luck with the drill bits, and hopefully the results are showing in the right direction.
Thank you very much.
Ja, das war eine erste Interview mit NevGold. Es gibt mehrere Punkte, die wirklich interessant sind. Erstens mal, sie sind in den USA und das heißt, klarer Fokus auf ein Land. Sie haben 2 größere Projekte, auf die sie sich jetzt konzentrieren, auch wichtig. Das ist in Idaho und eins in Nevada. Sie haben bei einem schon, es sind bestehende historische Ressourcen, und die wollen sie jetzt upgraden mit neuen Bohrergebnissen. Sie wollen heuer 10.000 Meter bohren, haben letztes Jahr 10.000 Meter bohrt, und sie wollen, da gibt es eine schöne Übersichtsseite, hier ist diese, eben 10.000 Meter ungefähr wieder bohren, und sie wollen, und das hat mich ein bisschen überrascht, bis Jahresende 3 Millionen Unzen in diverse Ressourcenkategorien bringen. Das ist ein Wahnsinn. Also 3 Millionen Unzen ist schon wirklich eine Nummer. Das ist nicht eine Kleinigkeit. Es ist vor allem heap leachable, das heißt, das ist alles Oxide, das ist alles near surface, also da ist nichts tief. Das heißt natürlich auch, dass die Produktionskosten, die CapEx-Kosten niedriger sind. Also von daher ist das extrem spannend, und das könnte natürlich schon genau das sein, was am Markt ist. Ich habe auch über den Markt gesprochen, also eigentlich ist es ein bisschen ein Disconnect. Wir haben letztes Jahr einen extrem guten Goldpreis gehabt im März, dann sind wir runtergefallen. Auf 1600 alle Goldaktien sind mit runtergegangen, aber jetzt, wo es eigentlich raufgegangen ist, sind viele nicht raufgegangen. Auch Sie sind quasi noch immer dort, wo sie, also unter dem November oder Oktober letzten Jahres, obwohl der Goldpreis $300 mehr im Plus ist, und das ganze Umfeld spricht eigentlich dafür, dass es weitergeht. Was auch noch extrem spannend ist, ist eine Shareholder Structure. Sie haben über 30% eigene, haben Insider, also sie haben gesagt, er sagt selber, sie kaufen am Markt, sie nehmen bei der Private Placement teil und sie haben 2 große Aktionäre, McEwen und Gold Mining. Beide sind reingekommen, weil sie das Projekt dort akquiriert haben und sie ziehen das quasi jetzt hoch und wie gesagt, 3 Millionen Unzen, wenn sie das schaffen am Jahresende, dann müsste es eigentlich zu einer Neubewertung kommen, denn wenn man sich das anschaut, was die ganze Marktkapitalisierung momentan ist, ich weiß nicht, wann das gemacht ist, das ist bei Preis von 35 Cent, jetzt werden wir halt bei 30 Millionen sein, dann muss man ehrlicherweise sagen, das ist für so eine Company, die dann 3 Millionen Unzen scheinbar haben soll, in den USA, viel zu wenig. Das muss man einfach mal so sehen. Und so wie ich es eher rausgehört habe, gehe ich davon aus, heuer Ressourcenschätzung, nächstes Jahr natürlich dann die PEA oder Feasibility Study machen. Und dann, glaube ich, ist der Punkt da, wo dann die Entscheidung fallen muss oder wahrscheinlich die Entscheidung getroffen wird, von wen anderen dieses Projekt oder diese Projekte zu nehmen. Also sehr spannend, wirklich interessant gewesen. Das war ein Update von NevGold heute ist der 28. März 2023 und das schaut wirklich extrem spannend an. Brent, thank you for your time. Good luck and good luck with the drill. And with the results out of the drill rig. And hopefully we can do another interview in a few weeks.
Definitely. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for the listening.
Thank you,
everyone.
and have a nice day.